Lila and the Brave Little Stars. Lila was a spirited little girl with wild curly hair and eyes that sparkled like dewdrops in the morning sun. She loved to play outside, chasing butterflies and climbing trees. But when the sun dipped below the horizon and darkness crept in, Lila's courage seemed to vanish. Every night as her mother tucked her into bed, Lila would clutch her favorite stuffed bunny, Mr. Flopsy, and whisper, "Mommy, can you leave the light on? I'm scared of the dark." Her mother would smile gently and kiss her forehead, but Lila still couldn't shake the fear that gripped her heart when the lights went out. In the quiet of her room, Lila's imagination would run wild. Every shadow became a monster, every creaky floorboard a lurking creature. She would pull her blanket up to her chin, squeezing her eyes shut and wishing for morning to come quickly. Lila often wondered why she couldn't be brave like her older brother Max, who slept peacefully through the night. She felt small and helpless in the vastness of the dark, longing for a way to find her courage. One particularly dark night, as Lila lay in bed trying to fall asleep, something extraordinary happened. A soft silvery light began to filter through her curtains, different from the usual glow of the street lamps outside. Curious despite her fear, Lila peeked out from under her covers. To her amazement, she saw a tiny star floating just outside her window. It twinkled and danced, seeming to beckon her closer. Lila hesitated, torn between her fear of the dark and her fascination with this magical sight. The little star spoke in a voice that sounded like tinkling bells. "Hello, Lila," it said. "My name is Twinkle, and I've come to show you something wonderful. Would you like to join me on an adventure?" Lila's eyes widened with wonder. She had never seen a talking star before. Despite her nervousness, she found herself nodding. But what about the dark?" she whispered. Twinkle's light brightened reassuringly. "Don't worry," it said. "My friends and I will keep you safe. Come to the window and you'll see." Clutching Mr. Flopsy tightly, Lila tiptoed to her window and peered out. Her jaw dropped in awe. The night sky was alive with twinkling stars, more than she had ever seen before. They seemed to have gathered just for her, forming patterns and shapes that danced across the heavens. "We're here to show you how brave you really are, Lila," Twinkle explained. "The night isn't something to fear, it's full of wonders and magic. Would you like to explore with us?" Lila hesitated for a moment, then nodded, her curiosity overcoming her fear. As if by magic, Lila found herself floating out of her window, still in her cozy pajamas and holding Mr. Flopsy. Twinkle and the other stars surrounded her, their gentle light keeping the darkness at bay. Lila giggled as she twirled through the air, feeling lighter than a feather. "Where are we going?" she asked, her eyes wide with excitement. Twinkle winked at her. "We're going to show you the wonders of the night and help you find the bravery that's been inside you all along," the star replied. And with that, they set off on their magical journey through the starlit sky. As they soared through the sky, Lila met the constellations. Each one had a special lesson to teach her about bravery, wisdom, and the beauty of the night. Ursa Major, the Great Bear constellation, introduced itself to Lila, showing her how it guided travelers home. Leo, the brave Leo constellation, taught Lila about courage and standing tall in the face of fear. Libra, the balanced Libra constellation, showed Lila how to find peace and harmony within herself. Their journey took them closer to the moon, which smiled down at Lila with a gentle, glowing face. "Hello, little one," the moon said in a soft, soothing voice. "I've watched over you every night, keeping the darkness at bay." Lila was amazed. "You have?" she asked. The moon nodded. "The night is my time to shine, just as the day is for the sun. We each have our role in bringing light to the world. And you, Lila, have a light inside you too, a brave, shining light that can overcome any darkness." Twinkle led Lila down to a moonlit forest clearing. There, thousands of fireflies danced in the air, their tiny lights blinking on and off like earthbound stars. Lila watched in wonder as they swirled around her, tickling her nose and making her giggle. "See, Lila. Twinkle said. Even the smallest lights can push back the darkness. And when many small lights come together, they can illuminate the whole forest. You're like these fireflies, small but with a light strong enough to chase away your fears. As they watched the fireflies, a wise old owl swooped down and perched on a nearby branch. Its large eyes blinked at Lila. Who are you?" it asked. Lila introduced herself shyly. The owl ruffled its feathers. "I am the guardian of the night forest," it said. "Many creatures fear the dark, but I have learned to love it. It's in the darkness that we can truly appreciate the light." The owl's words made Lila think. Maybe the dark wasn't so scary after all if it helped make the light seem even brighter. Twinkle and the stars whisked Lila high into the sky again, this time to a place where the air was crisp and cold. Suddenly, the sky erupted in a dance of colors, greens, purples, and blues shimmering across the darkness. Lila gasped in awe at the northern lights. "This is one of the night's most beautiful secrets," Twinkle explained. "It's a reminder that even in the darkest times there can be incredible beauty and wonder." Lila watched the lights, feeling a warmth grow in her heart despite the cold air around her. As they floated among the stars, Twinkle showed Lila the vastness of the universe. Galaxies swirled in the distance and planets of all colors and sizes hung in the void. Lila felt very small, but instead of being scared, she felt a sense of peace. "When you feel afraid," Twinkle said, "remember how big the universe is. Your fears are just a tiny part of it all. But so is your bravery, and it can grow to fill your whole world if you let it." Lila nodded, beginning to understand. Their journey took them to a beautiful nebula, where new stars were being born. Clouds of cosmic dust swirled in fantastic shapes and tiny points of light peeked through. "This is where stars like me come from," Twinkle explained. "We start small, just a little spark in the darkness. But with time and courage, we grow brighter and stronger." Lila watched a tiny star flicker to life. "It's like me," she said softly. "I'm small now, but I can grow brighter too." Twinkle beamed at her. "That's right, Lila. You're learning fast." On your mark. Lila lines up with the shooting stars, heart racing with excitement. Get set. The stars begin to glow brighter, preparing for the race across the sky. Go. Lila and the stars streak across the night, leaving trails of stardust behind them. Breathless and laughing, Lila realizes she's overcome her fear of the dark. Twinkle introduced Lila to a group of shooting stars. "Want to race?" they asked. At first, Lila was nervous, but with Twinkle's encouragement, she joined in. As they zoomed across the sky, Lila's laughter echoed through the night. She was having so much fun she forgot to be afraid of the dark. After the race, Twinkle pulled Lila aside. "I have a secret to share with you," the star said. "Did you know that humans are made of stardust? The same stuff that makes us shine is inside you too." Lila's eyes widened in wonder. "Really?" she asked. Twinkle nodded. "That's why you can be as brave as any star in the sky. You just have to believe in your own light." Their next stop was a soft, glowing cloud that changed shapes as they watched. "This is a dream cloud," Twinkle explained. "It shows the wonderful adventures your mind can have while you sleep." Lila watched as tiny scenes played out on the cloud's surface, fantastic creatures, magical lands, and exciting quests. "When you go to sleep," Twinkle said, "you can have adventures just like this. The dark isn't the end of fun, it's the beginning of a whole new world in your dreams." Lila smiled, excited by the idea of nighttime adventures in her sleep. As their journey began to wind down, Twinkle and the other stars gathered around Lila. "We have a gift for you," they said. The stars began to weave their light into a shimmering blanket that wrapped gently around Lila's shoulders. It was warm and comforting, like a hug made of starlight. "Whenever you feel scared," Twinkle said, "just imagine this blanket around you. It's a reminder that we're always here, watching over you." Lila hugged the blanket close, feeling safe and protected. It was time for Lila to return home. As they floated back towards her bedroom window, Lila looked at all the wonders of the night one last time. The moon waved goodbye, the owl hooted a farewell, and the fireflies blinked a cheerful send-off. "Remember, Lila," Twinkle said as they reached her window, "the night is full of magic and beauty. And you are braver than you know." Lila nodded, feeling a new confidence in her heart. She was ready to face the dark. Lila found herself back in her bed, tucked in just as she had been when the adventure began. For a moment she wondered if it had all been a dream. But then she felt the warmth of the starlight blanket around her shoulders, now invisible but still there. She looked out her window and saw Twinkle winking at her. The star's light seemed to say, "Sweet dreams, brave Lila." With a smile, Lila snuggled down into her bed, no longer afraid of the dark that surrounded her. The night became a time of wonder and adventure in both her imagination and her dreams. She discovered the bravery that had been inside her all along, shining like stardust. Lila felt the warmth of her starry friends watching over her, even when she couldn't see them. From that night on, Lila's relationship with the dark changed completely. She looked forward to bedtime, excited for the possibilities that the night held. The next morning, Lila couldn't wait to tell her family about her adventure. At breakfast, she excitedly recounted her journey through the stars. Her parents exchanged amused glances, thinking it was just a vivid dream. But Lila's brother Max listened with wide-eyed wonder. "Can you show me the stars tonight?" he asked. Lila nodded enthusiastically. For the first time, she felt like the brave big sister, ready to help Max see the magic in the night sky. Lila's bedtime routine took on a new magical quality. She and her mom put glow-in-the-dark stars on her ceiling, creating their own constellations. Instead of asking for the light to be left on, Lila now asked for star-shaped nightlights that cast a soft, comforting glow. Every night, she would wrap herself in a special blanket that reminded her of the starlight gift, and her mom would read her stories about the night sky. Bedtime became a cherished, peaceful time that Lila looked forward to all day. As Lila grew older, she never forgot her magical night with the stars. The lesson of finding light in the darkness stayed with her, helping her face other fears and challenges in her life. Whenever things seemed scary or overwhelming, she would look up at the night sky and remember Twinkle's words, "You are braver than you know." Lila's experience taught her that sometimes the things we fear the most can become our greatest sources of wonder and strength. All it takes is a little courage, a spark of curiosity, and the willingness to see the magic that surrounds us, even in the darkest of times. Many years later, Lila became a mother herself. As she tucked her own little girl into bed, she would tell the story of her night among the stars. "Remember," she would say, gently tapping her daughter's nose, "you have stardust inside you. You can shine brightly no matter how dark it seems." And so the magic of that special night lived on, passed from one generation to the next, reminding children everywhere that bravery comes in all sizes and that the night is not something to fear but a wondrous realm of dreams and possibilities.